Yeah, okay. I'm putting an image here that Ava and I did days ago. We have 5 or 6 of them, and Kelsey created a site, a website, and we're going to create more. Okay, this is called Church of Nature. And so the idea here, and I defined this, this is one of the avenues we're going to play with here. I've got some other ones too. It does look religious, but it's not. I defined it as a community thing. And so we're just going to play with this for all the people that like the church idea and see if we can get them to focus more so on nature. We're starting with the nature, then I define it as the natural environment. So I bring these ideas around to attract people and see if they'll step up and pay attention to what's going on their planet, and a step at a time, possibly to wake up, and it's their choice. So we have other little ideas coming too, we're playing with. And so again, Kelsey has the website. It's called churchofnature.strikingly. Yes. So this impression kind of came to me, so I kind of formulated it in a particular way, so it brings it around. So we can do this with many things on planet Earth. It seems like bothering people doesn't work, so we're doing things that are kind of in their nature, and redefining things for them and just bringing it around. So take a look at the website. It is on there, on the frame there. And so when you have conversations or whatever with religious people or what have you, we're going to get to, I'm going to do another one too, many avenues on this. Utilize this idea to bring people around to the natural environment and what we're doing. So this is something to give to them, you know. If they, you know, make a comment or something saying Jesus loves you or whatever, give them the Church of Nature image here. Just all you have to do is send them an image and see how they respond. Yeah, because people are this, you know, this religious minded, but again, I've defined it in the website there. And Miss Kelsey did a great job as always.
How can people access this Church of Nature?
Well, like anything, everybody goes to the website.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, today everything's online, cyberspace, miss.
At any particular time, have you worked that out?
It's not about, you know, meetings or whatever. It's, you know, again, we take it a step at a time. We see who steps up and wants to know what's going on, etc. So that's the basic idea. We're just using the church idea with nature to see if who will respond, because people like the church idea. They like that idea. And really, I've defined a church as community. All right, so that's the idea there. You know, I've put out the definition.
I think here in Germany they don't like the church idea, but it's maybe from country to country different.
Oh, well, most of the people in the world that are religious, they know the church idea, Eva. Yeah, it's not the church idea so much, it's religion. And I define that in there where it's not religious or whatever, it's just, you know, it's for the community. But just using the church idea to draw people, they'll see that. You know, a lot of people like that. They want to belong to some church or something, or do something, or donate. So that's the whole idea, you know, the church idea. So this kind of, you know, again, it focuses them to nature. That's the whole idea. Read the website. Yes, Randy, I see that. So, you know, people are going to think whatever they are. So I'm not thinking for people. I'm just putting something out there. You know, it's like, you know, when you're fishing, you put a hook out there to catch fish. You know, I mean, you don't know what you're going to catch. You know, you could catch a squid or a stingray also, you see? Those things are going to come along too. That's all. We just see what people are doing. So, you know, our focus is the all-natural environment. And there's many ways to get people's attention. And if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. It's that simple. So all we do is present something that makes sense. And then some people will wear flowers in their hair for this. Okay, it's a good idea. And Chris is here. Chris, can we build a church on your property?
Not this one. Not big enough, I don't think.
Well, we can turn your house into a church. We can put Church of Nature. Okay, so we can plant things inside your house. That's actually a good idea. You build a church and the whole inside is a garden. You know? Yeah, this Church of Nature. That's what it is. That's cool. Yeah, it's all grass. There's no carpet. It's grass, and you have trees and birds and things. It's Church of Nature. Yeah.
I see this organization, the Church of Nature.
Good.
There's on Facebook, the Church of Nature too.
Oh, okay, good. Well, maybe they'll see us and they'll wake up. Claudia, did you want to share a few things we talked about while we're waiting here?
Well, I was going to ask, can we play music and sing a song?
Well, I was actually going to ask that, yes. Does somebody have an old tune? Yeah, you had some experiences. We not all of them. We're not going to talk about all of them, but certain ones we talked about to share or whatever. Not the ones last night, but some other ones we had talked about.
Well, the one that I feel most close to is during the eclipse, which came before the hurricane. Having a session, New Year's session, and then thinking of Rivas Artars and Paul Tadar Zask and Gopi Quantz and Gopal Das and Yavel Sakavi and Shami Sijabri, thinking of all the guys. One sentence was repeated 3 times in the session, and what it was demonstrate the all is. And I did not know how to do that or what that referred to at the time the information was provided until the storm came. And right in the middle of the storm, when the wind was really shaking the rattles on the house and scary, I kept thinking, okay, demonstrate the all is in 120 mile an hour gusts, 80 mile an hour winds in the middle of the dark city. All right, all is. Well, let's see. Is light. Yeah, that would be good. All these sort of things. It's peace and calm and quiet. And I thought, okay, the wind sounds like roaring trains. And it really wakes you up. And so after the storm, everybody immediately has to start bringing their broken trees, branches, and parts to the street so it can be collected. Because if you leave that brush in your yard, you're going to attract mosquitoes, which have now arrived, bless their heart, and they're hungry. They're hungry. You have to have your personal can of mosquito spray just to get to the house before. Anyway, carrying the tree branches to the street was the best part that I could think of. And to sing New You while carrying these branches. Thank you. I hope this is different. Anyway, that's it. I'll pass on the rest.
Thank you, Claudia. Yes.
Well, Charles is here.
Hello, Charles.
Hello, Duane.
Oh, you're here.
Yes.
And I see Miriam. She's here too. She bring her surfboard.
Okay. Yeah, I knew Mariam would be there.
Oh.
Because this is first Saturday.
Oh, okay. The first Saturday. Okay. Wonderful. Yes. And yes, we did a cute picture of her on the surfboard like Kelsey. Did you get that?
Yeah. Well, Mariam says Because of rain, most of the new friends have not yet arrived, and we should give them some 15 minutes or so to arrange themselves. Hello, Duane.
Yes, I hear you. We're doing some things along the lines of what you are referring to in Africa. Yes, we're doing some things along the lines of what you're referring to in Africa, Charles, and we're going to do more too. So I put up an image here in the Skype, and Kelsey's created the website. And so this idea came to me the other day, so we created it and bring it around. So it'll kind of create a relationship for all those religious people, but this has nothing to do with religion. It only seems like it does because it's really community. So this is one aspect that we're putting out there to see how see the response we get, and then to deal with it. So, but it's really about all the all natural environment. We're just using the ideas that people have out there. Yeah. So what's new today, Charles? You're very loud and clear today. This is great. So yes, go ahead and talk. Yes. Whatever questions you have or whatever, go ahead.
Okay, what I would like to talk about is an observation in the groups. Yeah, I find that new friends interaction with the public in terms of discussion is virtually non-existent. And my impression is that I think we learn from one another through discussion of topics and issues which will benefit newcomers. But I find that the order of the day is posters and pictures in the groups. I'm not saying that there's any thing wrong with them with pictures, but I think they should be interspersed with a discussion of some critical, crucial issues, just to boost understanding, even if pretending not to know. Yeah. This teaching teaches others and makes the groups livelier, rather than just the posters and pictures and the thumbs ups and the likes, which makes the groups somehow mechanical and dead. Yeah. Now, and this is because why I'm saying this is because there's been some complaints from some of the new friends. Some of them look at the days when we still had discussions in the groups. At times, Duane would just interject, just come in with some brief, even one sentence. It was very lively, and I remember Hesam used to write at the speed of light. It was very electrifying. See, and it kept the groups dynamic and informative. But the current fashion of just the pictures and with people giving thumbs up and all the like, makes the groups cold, you see, and it doesn't help newcomers very much. Yeah, and when we do this, we are sort of practicing ourselves, until we go out there and meet some people face to face, and we have to answer questions. We don't really know the importance of this because we're just on online. You not tell somebody, wait, let me take this Duane's picture from here, or this poster, and paste it there, or Duane's words, just copy and paste. It doesn't help us much in the long run. So I think the groups have the Facebook groups already have these pictures, and the discussion or chat groups should be used for this discussion of some topics, you see, amongst ourselves, learn from one another, some clarifications, and then no doubt there will be some posters, some pictures sometimes, but not always. We make it a picture war, so it defeats the purpose of the groups. Just an idea. I don't know whether anybody has refused this or can add something.
Okay, well, it's very simple, really. The groups are choice. First of all, the person deciding to be with the group, that's a choice. What a person decides to, contribute to the group, that's a choice. Okay, so everything starts from somewhere. So, creating this new presentation for everybody first starts, you look at the process of it. First starts with somebody doing something. So as I put this out there, yes, there's people that are going to cut and paste the words or say this or that. Of course, they're going to start off like that, which I did too, with Paul. So it only makes sense. But eventually, what I did is I started to creatively do things on my own. And I took those things and I went out into the public, and I created whatever I did. So everybody has this option. Now, discussion, that's really very simple. And that is that everything is the natural environment that we survive with. Everything is. Because life is survival. So with what's going on the earth, I would say that there is endless discussion and endless things to do and present and create out there. That's what we're doing. And we use the images to give people an idea, like the old saying, a picture is 1,000 words. Actually, it's a lot more. So this is where, again, the idea has always been so much of the time that, the corporation is going to think for everybody and do everything for everybody. Well, I never saw it that way, but many people do. They're just waiting for the leader or the corporation to do something. Well, that's not how it is. What we're doing here is we're creating hints for everybody to wake up and do something. And the only way that a person is going to wake up is if they do something. So the pictures and the writings and all this, these are hints to possibilities. Again, I've said this in the past when we talked about this. We'll take Africa as an example, and sitting in the groups and discussing or not discussing or just showing up and doing that. Well, I've suggested many times go out and do something, and the public just do anything. And so again, the initiative, we provide the main ideas, you might say. We provide the main references to the reality, And this is where, yeah, people, if they decide to sit around and do nothing, that's their choice. But they can also take it and run with it. That's what I did all the years. I did so many things, and the corporation, a lot of it didn't like it. Well, I didn't care. I was still doing it out there. I was doing something. And so this is where it is today. And yes, to discuss something, hey, there's issues with the natural environment every single day. You guys are sitting in the middle of it. The whole world is. And it's not getting better. So I don't see where there's a lack of anything. So if people wonder what to do, realistically, why would they be wondering what to do? You see, there's always something. And again, the world has been conditioned to think a particular way, that like, oh, well, God will save the natural environment, or the government will fix it. Well, actually, it's God and the government destroying the natural environment. And people have things, kind of turned about. And it's not about blaming, it's about doing something, creating a position. This is what we're doing. And so the images and the words, etc., and all the groups that I write ignite that. But it's not up to me or anyone else doing this to think for others. And so when people have these questions or ideas, what they're really saying is that I want you to think for me. I cannot think for myself. As we use the thinking idea. But it's really learning to see what's going on. And the whole world is the environment. That's what we're doing here on the earth. It's all about the environment. And this is what I've been sharing all along, the all-natural environment. And which exceeds, just this one dimension here, but the real side and everything. So it's endless. And this again goes back to each individual decides to do something or they don't. And most people, basically, they want to hang on to the old God idea, where they're followers, believers, and members. And these are the people that just kind of show up once you've got a meeting. And for the most part, they have to be told what to do because they don't know what to do, even though they have an imagination to do something, etc. And we're demonstrating that by the very fact of what we're doing. And so we're constantly demonstrating, hey, go be creative. If you don't want to share our stuff, create your own. That's the whole idea. But we're giving examples and we're demonstrating. And this is what the boys do too. They demonstrate, okay, and that is that sharing the reality. Again, it goes back to the sun shining. The sun shines upon all, and so each individual can do that too, not just sit there like the moon and wait for the reflection to come from the sun. That becomes the difference. We're suggesting you become like the sun too and shine, but it takes an effort to shine, or you just sit there and you wait for the sun to come up and you be the reflection. Your choice. So it's all there, Charles. Everything is there, already done, already present, already now. So it's an individual decision. It's not about him over there deciding that, oh, he must do this for me. No, you must decide. Each person must decide for themselves what they will do. Yeah. And yeah, there's plenty to do. And so all the time that's been sitting around and listening to the pretty words, that's fine. That gives you an idea, but it's really the activity, just like a family is a community. And what are they doing? They're doing something every day to survive, and it all applies to the all-natural environment that they're living on the earth. Yes, at this time with their body. And that's everything. The business world, this is where people got caught up and conditioned in the business world because that's all cabal. The business world is fine, but originally everybody was farmers. Everybody was communities. Now it's the business world. And the business people in the business world, because I deal with them, they keep thinking that all there is business. And the world's going to get better because business is good. This is a fallacy. It'll work for a while, but eventually it won't work anymore. And by the very fact that the business world is as it is, it's just a step to the militarization like the educational system and everything else, to where it's all military, because basically that's what it is. Everybody controlled and militarized. So if people don't pay attention, if they don't do something with real survival and the all-natural environment, pay attention, they're just going to become militarized drones, which they basically are with their cell phones. That's what they want. They want everybody in the military and drones. And there won't be any more farmland, because everything will be synthetic food, if food at all. If you're a drone, you don't need it. You know, all you need is your Wi-Fi. And it's right in front of everyone. You got plenty of issues there. And actually, this is a big warning. It's like, wake up. You know, it's right in front of you. Are you seeing it? It's all heading in that direction because we are in the middle of it. So I'm focused on the all-natural environment. Everything I do is about the all-natural environment and survival on all levels. So I don't see a lack of anything. How did I produce 900 groups or more on Facebook and everything I'm doing? Anybody can do this. Everybody has free will to do it. Nobody is held back. By the very fact that people consider certain ideas, they restrict themselves. You know, I've created the possibilities here and showing people, and there's so many avenues to do, and then people, are there still people asking questions? What do I do? How do I do this? Well, yes, we get them. And we get a lot of them from Africa. You know, we tell people to be creative. You know, they ask us about, well, what do I do? Well, be creative, just do anything. Well, how do I do that? You see, it's like they can't do anything. Is this the world today? Is that a conditioned person? Yes, they have to look at themselves. Decide something. How do you put on your clothes? You know, how do you get to wherever you're going? How do you eat? You know, do you know how to do that? So again, it's all there, Charles. It realistically is. But, you know, again, people have been bred. This is why they go back to religion and being the member, because they want to sit and be told what to do. And as long as they are, they're just going to go down the river, and they're going to keep contributing to the demise of this planet and their own life if they don't get up and do something. So we're giving the hints here is what we're doing. Ava and I made an image yesterday, another image, and I'll put it here unless Kelsey gets it first. Kelsey's faster than me, but I did it. So again, we're creating these images as hints for everybody, but most people don't get it. They don't see how to really survive. They have their cute little lives, and they think they're going to survive on that. Well, when things get funny, then they start screaming. They don't see the bigger picture. And it's all coming fold. It's all coming heads up. Just like the disaster that Claudia went through. You know, she missed it. She sidestepped it. She did her little she did a little sidestep and then just did her Fred Astaire. And it's like, okay, I'll just go dance over here. But a lot of people, towns were wiped out. They were obliterated. And when people wake up the next day, it's like, what do we do now? Well, again, it's the natural environment you're dealing with, so pay attention to what's happening with your natural environment on your planet Earth. So it's really endless, Charles. There's so many areas that we can go into. So, you know, also the pictures that we do, like the one we did of Miriam and the groups and etc. You know, we do those because at the same time what we're doing and expressing is showing people how to try and have fun with doing something also. You know, have a little fun with it. Because yes, it is a struggle to live here and what have you. So again, that's why I created, and Kelsey created the site, 2 hints. You know, it's like, how many hints do we have to give to people before they really get it? And this is a big journey. It's not gonna fall out of the sky. Again, most people have this God idea still in them, thinking that someone is going to do it for them. It's not going to happen. You have to do everything yourself. You have to decide every word and every action yourself. Yes, that's where it comes from. So when people have that question, it's like, and they ask you, Charles, or whatever, or you are wondering, it's like, ask yourself, what are you doing? It's not about them. It's not about us doing something or them over there or the government or God. You know, God's not going to do anything. God doesn't care. The government doesn't care. They've already demonstrated that. You got to care. See, I care. That's why I created We Care. And I created all these things, worldwide educators, everything, simply because I care. I'm demonstrating it. And each person can do that too. It's really very simple. So, you know, I don't know what else to say, but, you know, we've produced so much here, and it's like certain people sit around and they wait, well, let's see what's next. Okay, well, no, I don't like that. I don't want to pass that out. What else they got? See, again, what are these people doing? So, as people come into the groups and what have you, we only let certain people in simply because, you know, these people, we look forward to them stepping up and supporting. We're supporting the world. What I'm doing is I'm supporting the world here and taking the grunt of it and taking all the ideas and the love and the hate and everything like that. That's fine. I'm supporting the world. All I ask is people step up and, you know, support what I'm doing. I have to pay the rent. I have to do things like everybody else. I support the world. Look what I've done. How about stepping up and doing something real and supporting what we're doing? And one of the simplest things is, hey, go on Facebook and share what we're creating. Just simply share, and then talk to people and whatever from that. So, you know, the images that we're creating are to create the discussions, but people have to step up and start discussing. You know, we're not going to do the discussions for them too. We create the images. Do we have to talk for them also? They got to step up and talk. You see? We already know this. These are the baby steps. And people are still asking the question simply because they still have the old God idea in them, thinking that God will do it for them. And again, you see this demonstrated with the corporation. Why did the Africans spend all their money building these temples? Just like Joni. More reptilian temples. Why? Because then they can go inside and be happy, sit there and do nothing and listen to what's next to be told. That's why they built them. And so the people coming up to the new presentation, they're thinking it's all the same. It's like, okay, what are they going to tell me? What are they going to do for me? Does that make sense? So, there you go.